Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first edition of the Fuzzster Checking Out Movies, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I'm going to be reviewing movies on here, comics, all kinds of good stuff. But today it's Halloween. It's the scary time of the year. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. We got to watch those horror movies, those scary movies, those movies that creep us out, that need to give us, take a shower sometimes after watching them. And tonight, I'm going to start with one of my favorite filmmakers and musicians. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the man, the myth, Rob Zombie. Woo! Yeah. Just took the boys and the little Fuzzsters to go check out Rob Zombie live and in concert. So what I like to do to say up front before any video starts is that we're going to be reviewing things through this perspective of just what it is, what it is, not comparing it to 50 other movies or anything like that. We always try to avoid that, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the hard work that went into making these movies. Now, I've done this before. I've gone and made films, and I know how hard it is to make a movie, so I appreciate it when I look at a film, when I see a movie and it's on the screen, I'm more proud of that person than I think their parents are, because they got it on the screen. They got it in front of the people, you know what I mean? So I'm a little biased in that sense. So I always try to find at least one good thing in a movie. The best way I could say to tell you if I didn't like a movie is the only thing nice I have to say about it is all the title credits were spelt correctly. So that's always a bad sign when I say things like that. But ladies and gentlemen, I will always point out the good things. There are bad movies out there that have some of the best scenes I've ever seen in a movie that made me laugh so hard or scared me, or, you know, whatever the may be. So out there, I'm a big, I appreciate art, I appreciate film, I appreciate comics, I appreciate everything that has to do with someone coming up with something in their head and seeing it into fruition, ladies and gentlemen. So today, though, it's Halloween. We're going to start it off with one of my all-time favorites, a fun movie, an icky movie, you know what I mean? Something that that some of you hopefully have seen. If not, I'm telling you, go get it. It's on HBO Max. They got his first movie, Rob Zombie. Right now, we're going to be talking about the House of a Thousand Corpses. The House of a Thousand Corpses was Rob Zombie's first film that he did by himself. It wasn't his first time trying to make a movie. He did have wrote a script called The Crow 2037, and it is one of the darkest scripts I've ever read in my life. Yes, I've read it, ladies and gentlemen. And for his first run, I was like, damn, dude, this is dark. I would have probably paid my money to see it. I'd have done it because, you know, it was different. It's not the normal Crow story that we would hear. It has the Crow on a pale white horse, you know, taking people out. It's freaking gnarly. But one day he was out at Universal Studios and, you know, designing a maze for the theme park, and started talking to people. And next thing you know, he pitches the idea, a half thought of idea, and mostly a title of House of a Thousand Corpses. And the executives were probably just like the Fuzzster and was like, that is one of the dopest names I ever heard. Let's make that movie, before they even saw a script. So they made a movie, and Universal Studios was the one making that movie. Once the movie was completed and it came out, they were not too happy with what they saw. So they shelved it, and Zombie had to go out and pretty much buy the movie back from them to try to put it out himself so people can see it. Lionsgate ended up picking it up, and they're the ones that released it. So now we have out in the world Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, ladies and gentlemen. So what is Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses? Well, it is a story. First, let me start by saying about this movie is that I love the dialogue.
You know what his favorite thing is next to whacking his weasel? He takes a sharpened pencil and sticks it in his eyeball and twists it.
What?
He doesn't hurt himself, though. He kind of twists it right next to his eyeball.
He been putting that pencil someplace other than his eyeball.
We're very Tarantino-esque. The banter between some of the characters is just brilliant.
Yes, I did, and I don't want you stuffing any goddamn paper towels down there. I had to snake the shit out that thing. Here you go. Now you bust that grepper, I'm gonna bust your ass.
I hear you.
You know, it's just funny. You're just like, what am I watching? What are they talking about? You know, you get to meet some real interesting characters. I'll tell you that. What is House of a Thousand Corpses about? Well, it's about Jerry, Bill, Mary, and Denise driving across the country, trying to find all these roadside attractions, and they come across Captain Spaulding's house of murder and mayhem, chicken and gas, ladies and gents. That's right, chicken and gas always goes together perfectly.
Don't forget to take home some of my tasty fried chicken. Ha ha! It just tastes so damn good.
Then they go inside there and they learn about this man they call Dr. Satan. Dr. Satan! Ah, Dr. Satan! Dr. Satan! Dr. Satan! Ah! That's right, Dr. Satan. And Dr. Satan used to do crazy experiments on the mentally challenged, would try to turn them into super soldiers. So obviously Bill and Jerry get very fascinated by this and want to go find where they hung the body of Dr. Satan. And as they're going there, they pick up a hitchhiker, the beautiful Sherry Moon Zombie. And they take, as they're driving along, all of a sudden the car tire gets blown out by a shotgun blast. And what they do end up doing is baby tells them that they can get her brother can give them a tow. So they start walking to the house, and that's when they enter the House of a Thousand Corpses. And once they're inside there, ladies and gentlemen, they meet the craziest family, the one you'd want to go running for the hills for once you've met them. A little kooky, and the main part of the family comes down the stairs, and that is Otis. Otis is one of the standout characters in this movie because he is, you would not want to run across this cat inside of any situation, you know, let alone a scary night, you know, right by Halloween and stuff. And once they sit down, they have eating dinner, and then they go and watch a dinner show, and a fight ensues, and they decide that they need to get the hell out of Dodge. As they're getting in their cars and driving away is when the dark stuff happens, ladies and gentlemen. Scarecrows start coming to life, beating the car up, taking things. It's literally stuff from your nightmares coming true. And it's not like as weird as it sounds, it's not as crazy as it's not unbelievable. Like the stuff he did, you're going like, oh, it's all practical. Like there's no CG, there's no nothing like that. It's legitimately happening right in front of your very own eyes. And pretty much everyone is taken. And the rest of the movie is spent watching them either being tortured in some crazy ass way, or the craziest dialogue you've ever heard. You're also going down this thing where I think Rob Zombie had that 3 ideas he had, and he just put them together and made this movie, which is, again, awesome. It came out, in my opinion, great. But the beginning is very much like a Pulp Fiction Tarantino feel. And then in the middle of it, you go into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like full blown. Like, you know, there's a Leatherface style guy named Tiny inside there. Great actor, did a great job. And then after most of the cast is captured and they're put into bunny suits and then put down a hole, just like in Alice in Wonderland, and legit at one point they rip the clothes off her and she becomes Alice, and she is now in Rob Zombie's hellish version of Alice in Wonderland, which is awesome. And that's all I'm going to say about the movie, ladies and gentlemen, because I want you to watch it. I want you to have a good time. Enjoy the flick, dude. It is tons of fun. Rob Zombie, you get the chef kiss because it's beautiful, dude. It is a ton of fun. It is exactly what he meant to, I think, to go out to do, is creep you out, like make you something that you will never forget when you watch it. You know what I mean? Like, it is beautiful. It is an MTV style, heavy metal, colors flashing, having a good time, freaking all of a sudden it's taking you this way and that way, and it becomes this and that. It's insane. It's a fun roller coaster ride. Tons of fun, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when the movie finally was able to be released after it was bought back from Rob Zombie because Universal wouldn't put it out, Lionsgate picked it up, and that's how we were able to get a Rob Zombie movie. He did not have to put it out himself. We got to have it out here. My better half, my girlfriend at the time, she is now my wife, got us some tickets to go to the world premiere of House of a Thousand Corpses. And when we were parking our car, we got out the car. First person I meet, Captain Spaulding, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Spaulding himself. And I'll tell you about that toy in a minute. Now, when I got there, I had a copy of the House of a Thousand Corpses script. So Captain Spaulding was the first person that I got to meet and sign this thing, and we met everyone at that show. It was insane. Got this sign. I'll show some close-ups right here real quick. But here you go. We got Johnny Ramone. Diamond Dallas Page was there. Freaking, let's see who else was in there. I met John Stamos, Andy Dick, like just the most random people you can ever think of, ladies and gentlemen, were there because everyone wanted to see what Rob was going to do. And we got to see the movie. We went to the after party, and I got to meet the queen, the beautiful woman, Sheri Moon Zombie. And she signed it. Where did she sign it? Right here on the top corner right there. She told me she loved me. And then the man, she introduced me to her husband, and I got to get that signed by him. And as you see there, this is original art ideas that he had for the show, the movie. It's freaking amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, later on throughout life, after seeing that movie with my girlfriend at the time, that was the day I decided I would marry her because she hates horror movies. And she sat through that whole thing and then let me go talk to Sheri Moon and didn't get jealous, all that good stuff. So that decided she was a keeper. And I always told Sid Haig about that story. I told him about that story when I met him the second time. And he kind of remembered me, and we started talking up, and we became kind of friendly towards each other anytime we'd bump into each other. So I had some kids, and I had two little fuzzsters, and when I had the first fuzzster, I took him to one of the times I was going to be able to meet the Cap, and he reaches underneath his table, and he pulls this out, and he goes, "I got this just for you." And he signed it to me, and he gave it to me as one of my cherished possessions. And then he calls Bill Moseley, who played Otis, over, and he tells him the story, and Otis starts making jokes, Bill, I should say, starts making jokes, and he just grabs a picture and signs it for me and hands it to me like that. Real nice guy. I've got a bunch of other stuff signed by these guys because every one of these House of a Thousand Corpses actors have always been really cool, and they have loved that story about how I decided to marry my wife because she sat through that movie and stuff. So again, this movie is something I hold very near and dear to my heart. The Rob Zombie, is it a perfect movie? No, it's not. I mean, it's got plot holes, it's got things, but it's an adventure, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I want you to always go into a movie knowing what you're about to get. You know, like this is just a fun ride. Like, and not fun like ooh, woo, woo, but it's it's something different. It's something you know, probably seen stuff like it now, but when it came out, no one had ever seen anything like it. It was literally out of Rob Zombie's mind, and that's why I think people hold this movie so near and dear. And when it came out, it got really bad reviews. I was one of the only people that was just like, this is freaking awesome, dude. So, check it out, dude. If I had to give it a rating, you know, 1 to 10, we're going to figure out a better way to do ratings. But 1 to 10, I'm giving it an 8. Like, easily an 8. I got everything I wanted out of it. It's a horror movie. It's something creepy. You will want to take a shower afterwards because it's just icky as hell. But it is tons of fun. Like, great dialogue, tons of crazy special effects. Again, no CGI. Everything's done in front of you. Rob Zombie's old school. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to always follow us on Whatnot on here on YouTube and on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. Click that subscribe button, and we promise you we will always be entertained. We'll be giving away things all the time. We're going to have special guests on this show. We're going to have people that I know from the industry that want to come on here and talk and have some fun. So make sure you subscribe to it. Tell us what you want us to review, man. I love movies. I love movies, even comics, books, whatever it is. Toys, I love all that stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to help. I want the audience to participate with this because there's nothing better than having you guys play along with me, ladies and gents. So throw some ideas to me. Let me see what you got. Torture me with some crappy-ass movies, and I'll bet you I'll find something good inside there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again for following us, subscribing to us. We're on Whatnot, Instagram, YouTube. Check us out. We love it. Thank you, guys. Keep them coming, you know what I mean? Tell us in the comment section what you thought of this video or stuff that you think we should review. Check us out. Mush. I love you guys. Love, peace, and chicken grease, ladies and gents. I'm out. Ooh.